Being called the unkillable soldier makes our job of finding the greatest war heroes a lot easier. Adrian Carton de Wiart was born in Brussels in 1890, the son of a Belgian aristocrat, with a social status that foreshadowed a life of luxury and opulence. However, his restless nature quickly diverted him from that future. After his father's divorce and second marriage, his English stepmother sent him to Balliol College in Oxford, which turned out to be temporary as he quickly ran away and enlisted in the British Army, lying about his age, and went to fight in the Boer War. Here his long and distinguished military career begins, along with his extensive list of battle injuries. Fighting alongside figures like Winston Churchill, he was wounded in the stomach and groin, requiring a lengthy recovery period. He was sent back home, where his father nearly disowned him for abandoning his studies, but crucially did not demand that he leave the army. Despite returning to school, he was once again called to serve in South Africa with the 2nd Imperial Light Horse, where he distinguished himself. Still holding Belgian nationality, Carton de Wiart obtained British citizenship in 1907, and his military career continued to progress. When the First World War broke out, he held the rank of captain in the Royal Gloucestershire Hussars and was transferred to the theatre of war in Somaliland, where he was assigned to the Camel Corps. The Camel Corps rode through the desert and conducted surprise hit-and-run raids on enemy positions. During an attack on the fort of Shimbaberis, he was struck in the face and ear, losing the vision in his left eye and starting the iconic image of the soldier wearing an eyepatch that characterized him from then on. The war continued, and Carton de Wiart was transferred to the Western Front, where he successively commanded 3 infantry battalions and a brigade. He was wounded 7 more times during the war, losing his left hand in 1915 and forcibly removing his own fingers when a doctor refused to amputate them. He was shot through the skull and ankle at the Battle of the Somme, at the hip at the Battle of Passchendaele, in the leg at Cambrai, and through the ear at Arras. Despite all these injuries, he never left the ranks and continued to lead his soldiers in suicidal and desperate charges amidst machine gun fire and mortar shells. When the armistice was declared, Wiart found himself in a different spirit from those celebrating the end of hostilities. In his memoirs, he describes the moment as one of doubt and states, "Frankly, I had enjoyed the war." However, the soldier quickly found himself thrust into another conflict. Already holding the rank of lieutenant colonel, he was sent to the newly formed nation of Poland in its struggle against Bolshevik Russia. On July 1920, Carton de Wiart was appointed as an aide-de-camp to the king and promoted to the rank of colonel. During this time, he survived his first plane crash, and in August 1920, when the Red Army approached the gates of Warsaw, he was attacked by a group of Red cavalry while on his observation train. He fought them off with his revolver from the footplate of the train, at one point falling onto the track and quickly getting back on board. After the Polish victory, the weary soldier decided to accept an offer from a Polish prince and retired from the army to live on a vast estate in Poland, where he would hunt every day for the next 15 years. However, life had other plans for the warrior, and with the outbreak of the Second World War and the invasion of Poland by the Nazis and Soviets, he assisted a group of pro-Western Polish allies in escaping with him to Romania. After being called back to active duty and attaining the rank of Major General, he was given command of an Anglo-French force hastily assembled for the Namsos campaign in Norway. Despite his courage and leadership, the campaign resulted in high casualties and a swift evacuation back to England. In 1940, he was appointed as the head of the British Yugoslavian mission, and was flying to Belgrade to discuss the details when both engines on his plane failed, causing it to crash off the Libyan coast. After swimming nearly a mile to the shore, he was captured by Italian troops. He made 5 escape attempts, including 7 months of tunneling. At one point, Carton de Wiart managed to evade capture for 8 days by disguising himself as an Italian peasant. However, he found himself in northern Italy, unable to speak Italian, and at 62 years old with an eyepatch, an empty sleeve, and multiple injuries and scars. He would be released when the Italians initiated secret negotiations with the Allies to exit the war, and they chose him to lead the clandestine talks in Lisbon. Upon his return to England, he was immediately promoted to Lieutenant General and tasked by Churchill to travel to China as his personal representative. His role was to maintain cordial relations between China and the UK, with hopes of achieving a peaceful agreement concerning British overseas territories. In 1945, he journeyed to Japan to witness the country's surrender and the end of the war. Then, in 1947, at the age of 66, the soldier was finally ready to retire and spend the remainder of his days in Ireland with his second wife, Ruth. He passed away peacefully in June 1963. He received military decorations from several countries, including the Victoria Cross, Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire, Victory Medal, Belgium Officer of the Order of the Crown and Croix de Guerre, Polish Silver Cross of the Order of Military Virtue, and French Croix de Guerre and Legion of Honor. He is still remembered as one of the greatest soldiers of all time, and his memoirs are titled Happy Odyssey, with a foreword written by Winston Churchill. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, please press the subscribe button and the like button. We will continue to make videos about the greatest war heroes, so we hope you visit our page again soon. Thank you so much.